Right. No. Hi, Autumn. Are you there? Can we test your audio before we start the meeting? Hi, Autumn.
Hi, I'm
Test your
here.
audio. Oh, there you are. And Chair Pont, we're ready to begin the meeting if you are.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Welcome to the regular St. Helena Planning Commission of Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. There's a couple of paragraphs I need to read, so let me read them. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of Government Code Section 54.953 as amended by AB 361, which authorizes teleconference meetings under the Brown Act during certain proclaimed states of emergency. The Governor of California proclaimed a state of emergency related to COVID-19 on March 4th, 2020. This teleconference meeting is necessary so that the city can conduct essential business and is permitted under Government Code 54.953 in order to protect public health and safety of attendees. Consistent with Government Code Section 54.953, this Planning Commission meeting will be held via teleconference only and will not be physically open to the public. Commission members and staff will teleconference into the meeting by audio and/or video. This meeting will be conducted via Zoom webinar. The Planning Commission meeting will be live streamed on Comcast Channel 28 and on the city's website, barring technical difficulties. Those members of the public wishing to participate must do so remotely via Zoom electronic meetings in the following ways: either by logging into the Zoom link located on the meeting agenda and enter the meeting ID, or by calling a listed number and entering the meeting ID. Public comment for planning commission meetings will be accepted via email to publiccomment@cityofsthelena.org. All public comments must be emailed by 3 p.m. prior to the meeting. Emailed public comments will not be read out loud, but will be publicly available and attached to the online planning commission agenda. Secretary Gamero, do you have some further information for us?
Yes, I do, Chair Pont. Let me share my screen with additional information. For members of the public that wish to participate in public comment by phone, you can do so by dialing 669-900-6833. At the prompt, you can enter the meeting ID 886-7286-5728. Press pound, and during public comment, you can press *9 to speak. And that's all, Chair Pont.
Thank you. Commissioner Segura, would you lead us all in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? You're on mute. Thank you.
Con mucho gusto, gladly. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. And I will now call the meeting to order. Would you take the roll, please, Secretary Gamero?
Commissioner Rothfeld,
Here.
Commissioner Segura,
Here,
Commissioner Anderson,
Here.
Vice Chair Hale is absent today, and Chair Pont.
Here. That takes us to item 3, public forum. This is an opportunity for the public to address the commission on items of interest to the public that are not listed on the agenda. Because of restrictions imposed by the Brown Act, the commission may not engage in discussion nor take action on matters not described on the agenda. Ms. Gamero, is there anybody out there who wishes to address the commission this evening?
There are no members in the public that wish to address anything.
Thank you. That takes us to item 4, consent items. There are 2 consent items tonight. Members of the commission or the public may ask that any items be considered individually for purposes of considering alternative action, for extended discussion, or for public comment. Unless that is done, one motion may be used to adopt the recommended actions. We have 2 items tonight. One is the Planning Commission meeting minutes of the 19th of last month. And we also have item 4.2, request by Jennifer Porembski for adoption of a resolution granting a design review exception in order to make exterior modifications to an existing single-family home located at 1227 Edward Street in the medium density residential zoning district. Is there any member of the commission that wishes to pull either or all items for further discussion? I don't see any. Secretary Gamero, is there anyone of members of the public who wish one or both items pulled?
There are none, Chair Pont.
Thank you. Then a single motion to adopt the consent calendar is in order. If someone would care to make a motion.
I motion that we approve the minutes. I'll second.
Ms. Gamero, would you, it should have been, did I mishear that?
Yeah,
Did I
yeah,
just
we,
hear one item?
Yeah,
It
we
should
need a
be
motion to adopt
the
it.
entire consent agenda. If
Right.
you would, please. Just as it would just be adopt the consent calendar as written.
I motion that we adopt the consent calendar as written.
Thank you. Modified motion. Can we have a second again?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Rothfeld. Ms. Gamero, will you take the votes, please?
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Rothfeld,
Yes.
Commissioner Segura,
yes,
and Chair Pont.
Yes. That takes us to item 5. We have no public hearings tonight. We do, however, have a scheduled matter, consideration and proposed approval of a resolution determining that the fiscal year 22-23 capital improvement program is in conformance with the general plan. Director DeRosa.
Good evening. This item will be presented by our Assistant Public Works Director, Eric Jansen. Thank you.
Mr. Jansen, if you would please.
Thank you, Chair Pond and members of the commission. This is a regular annual event where the Public Works Department presents the CIP projects that we plan to bring forward in the next fiscal year. In accordance with State Government Code 65401, we are asking this commission to review that list of projects to determine if they are in fact in conformance with our general plan, and to send a recommendation to our city council recommending the list so that it may be adopted into the coming fiscal year's budget. The projects that are presented to you today are largely the same as you saw last year. These projects are ongoing. We have not added any new projects. Some projects have now been deleted because we expect them to be completed within the current fiscal year. However, projects that will extend into the next fiscal year and going forward have been presented in the list. And we ask that the commission grant approval and recommendation to City Council. And I'm happy to entertain any questions if you have any regarding the specific projects on the list.
Thank you. Does any commission member have any questions of the Assistant Public Works Director on the projects, timing, conformance? I do not see any hands. Well, then frankly, if there are no questions, a motion on this item would be appropriate. Does anyone care to make a motion? It would simply be to adopt the attached draft resolution.
I motion to adopt the attached draft resolution.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. Ms. Gamero, will you tally the votes, please?
Commissioner Rothfeld,
Yes.
Commissioner Anderson,
Yes.
Commissioner Segura. You're on mute, Commissioner Segura.
Sorry about that, yes.
And Chair Pont.
Yes. Very good, thank you. That takes us to item 7, department reports. Do we have a report this evening? Director DeRosa.
A short one. I would just like to give you some feedback from the last council meeting, in particular related to going back to live meetings. We are looking, the Planning Commission will probably have their first live meeting in June. So get ready, probably in the next 30 days. I actually will be out the first meeting in June. I'll be out on vacation. I don't know if we're going to have any items or not. So we'll stay in tune with you about that. But I would definitely plan the second meeting in June that we for sure will be back over at Vintage Hall. The plan is that there will be kind of hybrids, exactly the right approach, but it's expected that staff and planning commissioners will physically be present. But as you know, we do work with consultants and legal support that is out of the area at times. And so we will still have the ability to have a remote meeting with that particular person so they can still participate. And that's what's, the next couple of weeks, our city clerk is working really hard to work out those technical details and also get some staff like Zinnia cross-trained and getting an assistant for her to kind of back her up. So there's definitely some things that have to be coordinated, but that was, the council did decide that June is probably the right time to do that. So I wanted to let you know that, so don't be surprised. And then I will be sending out an update memo to the Council and Planning Commission Zoning Code Subcommittee related to some feedback I got at the last council meeting related to formula businesses and how we might want to slightly change some of that policy and definitions in the code. So since I don't have it, agendized on the agenda, I won't go into detail for Brown Act purposes, but I will, when I send the memo out, if you have any follow-up questions, I would definitely, as you know, you can reach out to me, email me or call me. So those are my main updates for tonight. Thank you, Chair Pond.
Thank you. I do have a couple of questions on the getting back to live meetings. Will the live meetings require a quorum of the Planning Commission actually present at the location?
Yes. The
Okay.
expectation is that, yeah, we will need a quorum live. I think, the clerk is going to be developing some, rules, going forward. So it's consistent with how the Planning Commission operates as the council. Everyone should be operating from the same kind of rule book, if you will, on attendance. And I do think, if somebody is out of town, has the ability to connect and we don't have a quorum, there's probably going to be some exceptions that, we might be able to allow that commissioner to still participate. But I expect to circle back with the city clerk to kind of ask some of those interesting what if scenarios. And hopefully we can give you all the expectations, in advance of going back to the live meetings.
Here. That takes us down to item 8, agenda forecast. A list of current planning projects is available on the city website. And this is also the opportunity for any member of the Planning Commission to request an item on a future agenda. So now would be the time. I do not see any requests. So that takes us to the last item on the agenda, which is adjournment, and good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.